Academy.
On Smith Avenue, behind the building, actually. And
Well, yeah,
yeah,
sort
yeah,
of.
yeah. We're in a spot. I'm
Don't want to
looking
think
out.
you're sneaking through the back door or anything.
I'm
you know?
sneak. Oh no, I don't. Never sneak through. Never sneak through the back door. Never, never, never.
Okay.
Hey, I was having a moment this morning at about 10 of 5 when I was thinking, how am I going to get up Western Avenue to the school? And
Old problems.
for folks in Wisconsin, this studio is not on Western Avenue at all.
No,
that was
it's on Greylock Street.
Greylock Street. So we are at a new building, and my mind is still in the old building.
Aren't you happy we don't have to go to the old building now?
Oh my God! Especially after I read what was happening up there, and I am at the corner of Court Street, and right there at the
you made it that
Mill
far?
Street? Yeah, Mill. No, I'm at the corner of Court and Mill Street,
Right by the hospital.
and there is what looks like a parade of big trucks driving by, and then Peter, this big circular thing that is going in the ground. It must have been, I'd say,
milling machine.
16. No, it looked like a tube of some type. It was like 18 feet diameter, 20 feet diameter.
Yep.
And there it is. And as far as its length, oh my gosh, I think
It's
was
probably a milling machine. They're going to mill down the pavement.
What does that mean?
So they scrape a layer off, and that big long thing shoots the old pavement into the trucks.
Oh, no! This looked like something they were going to put in the ground, like a. I think in my mind I thought it was like an oil tanker or an oil tank or something.
Okay.
But
Like a pipe or something?
it looked like a huge pipe. I mean,
Okay.
a huge mother pipe, and
That's possible too. I knew they're doing all the infrastructure up there too, including putting in drainage sewers and things like that, which is very important. That's why the old road deteriorated.
So what is the city of Westfield doing there actually? So folks in Westfield
Actually,
can know
this
about
is
it.
more like the state.
Oh, the state. It's a state road. That's right. Okay, so what are they doing?
Well, they're kind of doing everything really. I mean, they're completely redoing the road from scratch. Basically, they're taking it down to nothing.
Oh, wow.
And then putting all new infrastructure in the road, which has never been done before.
Wow.
And they're going to build it back up so it's a modern road with drainage. I mean, the reason that Western Avenue crumbled in years past is the water ran off to the sides and sat there. It had nowhere to go.
Sure.
So it ate away at the pavement. The water eats away at everything.
Oh, man.
It eroded the pavement. So that's why you have all the problems you got now.
So they're widening the street, too, I think, a little bit, right? Or
Yeah.
they've already widened it.
Yeah.
And then they're putting up curbing as well?
Yeah. They're redoing the whole road.
And this is all being done 2 weeks before the start of the school up at Westfield State?
Yeah.
And can it all be done in 2 weeks?
Sure.
Oh, boy, you're optimistic.
Well, no. This is a several year project, Bob.
Oh.
Have you not been paying attention?
Well, I have, but you know, when I live on a different street. You know, it's sort of like
There's been public meetings for years about it.
Yeah.
and
Well,
all
I
kinds of
remember the
stuff.
bike trail. How there was this discussion around the bike trail, which was actually a little corridor on Western Avenue that would allow.
Right.
folks
That was
to-
the big stink.
That was the big one. Yeah, yeah. And but this other one, it's really going to improve traffic and everything, isn't it?
Yes.
But meanwhile,
Well,
while they're building
A
it,
little bit, yeah.
well, while they're building it, you're not going to have potholes. You're not going to have to be going over to the other side of the road, causing a traffic jam, et cetera, right?
Right, yeah.
So right now, North Road is being changed or they're doing stuff on North. What is that road there? Not North. It's something North Loomis or something.
Oh, Northwest?
Northwest Road.
Yeah, they're probably doing a little bit of that, too.
Yeah, and it's also Western Avenue as well.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
well, up in
well.
Western Avenue, yeah.
Well, folks.
A lot of work going on.
Yeah. Look at if you have to go up to the school, are there any
Take your time.
suggestions? Just take your time.
You can go all the way around to Route 20, come back. What's the name of that street? There's another street down by the 4 Mile Country Store. You can come back that way, but just wait. I went up there yesterday, and it wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay. All right. But seeing these huge trucks go by, it looked like we were building, the Army was building a new bridge or something.
It takes a lot to do construction, Bob.
Wow, amazing. Well, wow, it is Tuesday, and as you see, if you're watching us on Channel 15 or you're streaming us at, what is that, westfieldtv.org? Is that
You got it, Bob.
I can't believe it. And you can also, well, if you're watching later on YouTube,
Correct.
at the archives.
Look at that, you're all over it.
Oh, gosh. Now, if I could only stop the stammering. Some weeks I'm better, some weeks I'm worse. Today I'm having this little problem about staying focused. Maybe because I'm not joined by JPEG Luca, trusty sidekick. He's not here to buoy me on. He's off there working, trusty Lusty Dusty and Dusty
Jay,
Crusty. Yes.
Send me your phone number. I wouldn't mind testing the phone system with you if you want to take a call.
And that voice, everyone, as you know, is the kitten of the keys.
Meow.
He's doing his own meowing now.
That's okay. Jay's not here. Somebody's got to fill in.
That's right. That's right. And this is the last time he'll be the august arbiter of the airways.
Okay.
All right. That you're choosing what the airways sound like here in Westfield.
Okay.
What's the difference between Studio 120 and the studio that we had up at the university?
This is designed more for television. And that was designed more for radio. There's a little bit of a different... I mean, television, you don't need the space to have the camera distance.
Right.
I tried to include the same type of microphone so the sound would be similar.
Right.
As the radio studio. But it's more about, lighting and distance, because you need a little bit of distance for television cameras, whereas you don't really need that in the radio studio. You can be more up close and personal.
Well, yeah, and in the radio studio, of course, there were these two little cameras. They weren't even what were they? They looked like little pinholes or something.
Yeah, webcam.
Yeah. But now we have 3 cameras that could shoot me from all angles, which ought to be
It's kind of odd.
We ought to outlaw that right from the very beginning. All right.
You could do one camera.
So we're doing one camera, and then you go to another camera. Can you do that from there, Peter?
Yeah. There you
now
go.
I'm over on that camera. Okay. And then
you'd have to lean in on the other one.
And I got to lean.
The other way.
Lean. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that way.
There we are.
I'd rather have you there, Bob.
All right. You want me here?
Yeah, right there. No. On camera 2. That's fine.
Oh, there we are.
Because now I got the WOW logo over your shoulder.
Over to my... Do I look this way? Is it over my shoulder?
Yes, that one, yes.
I look to the left. Okay. I'm not like a weatherman.
Right.
No. Hey, so... Today we're going to have a great show. Mark Auerbach's calling in a little later, so we'll look forward to talking to him about all things theater, movies, critics, etc., etc., etc. But I had a good experience for once, or for twice. This Monday, I took my friend Happy Daly. It was her birthday this past weekend. You know Happy from the city.
I do know Happy,
Yeah. She's retired, and she's...
Former Miss Auditor.
That's right. She Miss Auditor of the World. She was a pageant winner for many years. So at any rate, so we went, James and I took Happy to the new crepes. Do you say crepe or crepe? The
Crepes
Russian
Tea House?
The Russian crepe tea house.
Where's
it's
that?
Good. It is where the old Di Giorgio's was. On the road to Southwick, there is this restaurant they've had one restaurant after another, and they've really kind of struggled. It's on is it Route 57?
Yep.
And it's down on the right there. And the Russian Crepe House from West Springfield.
The Crepes Tea Room.
Yeah, has moved. Well, actually,
I think they've opened a second location.
And you know what?
So what plaza is this place in?
It's not a plaza. It's a separate restaurant that is sitting right there all alone.
In Southwick or in Westfield?
It's in Southwick.
Okay.
It's in Southwick.
Huh.
So you go down to the Gristmill Plaza there, and you take a left, and you're going down 57, and then it's I don't know, a few minutes down the street. But I got to tell you, I had this great salmon egg crepe at 1 o'clock in the afternoon that was to die for, and delicious iced tea. Of course, it's a Russian tea house, so they know how to do tea well, and so nice and clean. It's beautiful, and
Nice.
and there were a lot of people there on a Monday lunchtime. So I think this is going to work. I really do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very, very good. We had another great experience last week. My friend Jay Bowes, who is a lawyer in Oxford, who graduated with me 52 years ago from Holy Cross, and his wife live in Oxford. And so, as you know, or you may remember, we were reunited about 2 years ago. And so we see one another maybe 3 times a year. They come for lunch or dinner.
I do recall that.
Yeah,
Yep.
remember? They were even on my show.
Yep.
And so Jay had something to do with the Chicopee jail. I didn't even know there was a jail in Chicopee. Did you?
Women's prison. Ladies.
Yeah. Is it downtown or someplace?
It's it's on Center Street. So it's the street that connects Chicopee to Springfield near Bay State Medical Campus. If you go Main Street.
Sure.
Main Street all the way to the end, it turns into Center Street, and that's where the women's prison is, women's jail.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hammonds County Women's Correctional. And that they keep the women separate from the men.
Uh-huh.
And it used to be all up in Ludlow, but they
Right.
built another prison that's been there for at least a decade.
oh gosh. Well,
Quietly there, just doing its job.
Yeah, I'm not a criminal. I've never been a crook. I am not a crook. And
Okay, Tricky Dicky.
Yeah, or I'm also not a woman. Last time I looked, and so consequently I didn't know about this. But anyway, so he goes to Chicopee, and so I came up with this idea. We meet at the student, or we go to the Student Prince.
Always a good choice.
Haven't been to the Student Prince in forever.
Love it. It's run by the Yee family now.
The Yee family. Now,
Yes.
Johnny Yee?
Well, he's passed away. His kids run it now.
Oh, is that right? Now, is he connected at all with Picknelly? Because
They're
waitresses-
co-owners.
Oh, I getcha.
So the people that own the Picknelly family and the Yee family, who formerly the Hukilau, but they own Johnny's Tavern and they own a couple places. They teamed up to rescue the fort.
Wow.
And the
Well,
Student
they
Prince.
have really done a really wonderful job of rescuing it. I was telling my
Love
friend.
the German food.
Yeah. It's an iconic restaurant, isn't it? I mean,
That's why they didn't want to let it go.
Yeah. If you think of Springfield, and I said to you growing up, when I was growing up, there was a place called it was a hotel. And it was knocked down, and it was right on the side street there. I can't, now I tell a story, I can't remember. It will come back to me. But the restaurant, the iconic restaurant for Springfield is the Ford and the Student Prince.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
Federal Hill Deli was a big one for a long time.
Federal Hill Deli.
Yeah.
Now, where?
That used to be over by the post office, and then for a while they moved right across the street from the courthouse. I don't think they exist anymore, but that was for a long time. There was the Keg Room, was a big one. Remember
The Keg Room, the Irish Keg Room. Okay,
Yep.
so these are iconic restaurants.
Yes.
Lido's.
Lido's.
The Lido's.
Lido,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah. All right. Now, if I said to you, what's an iconic restaurant for Westfield, what would you say?
Right now,
Well, no.
the
just
Tavern.
The Tavern restaurant in Westfield is
Westwood.
the iconic. The Westwood. Yeah, but these are existing restaurants. Is there one that is gone that you sort of think of?
I didn't grow up here though.
Oh, you didn't? Oh,
I grew up
okay.
in Springfield,
So
it's a little bit tougher for me.
Sue's
People say,
for me, it was Sue's Chinese.
Davio's.
Davio's.
I got to experience that before it closed.
Yes. Yeah.
That was one. I always hear about Sue's, and I hear about the old 49er, which I think was just a bar.
The old 49er. That's not me, is it? The old 49er. Sounds like
no.
a
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a break? Because Marco wants me to call him.
Oh, all right. Well, hey, I was looking. I just happened, as you know, when we prepare a show, we look for music.
Yes.
That is conducive to stories, etc., etc. Well, I'm looking for a cool August song to play as the August weeks die down. And so I found this by Brian Eno. Do you know Brian Eno? Have you heard of him at all?
I think so. When I saw the song, I think so, yes.
He's a new age composer a lot, but he also has stuff that is really listenable. And so this is Cool August Moon, and it's actually from his album. He wrote the music for St. Elmo's Fire. Remember that movie?
Yep.
So this is Cool August Moon from Brian Eno's St. Elmo's Fire.
Brown eyes and I were tired. We had walked and we had scrambled through the moors and through the briars, through the endless blue meanders in the blue August moon, in the cool August moon. Over the nights and through the fires, we went surging down the wires, through the towns and on the highways, through the storms in all their thundering. The blue August moon, in the cool August moon. Then we rested in a desert where the bones were white as teeth, and we saw St. Elmo's fire splitting irons in the ether.
One of our underwriters here at WSKB's Community Radio is Carson Center for Health and Human Services, a nonprofit organization located at 20 Broad Street in Westfield. They provided behavioral health and rehabilitation services in communities throughout Western Massachusetts since 1963. There are services for children, adolescents, adults, families, and couples. You can find them on the web at carsoncenter.org or at 413-572-4132. Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com. offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at xfinity.com.
Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Wow. It is August 20th, 2019, and counting. My name is Bob Plass. I'm here with the kitten of the keys. Meow. Yeah, he's over there. Peter Coles, JPEG Luca, trusty sidekick, is off working, and so we're holding down the fort for a few minutes while we're getting Mark Auerbach on the phone to a little later in the hour.
I think he's on there now. Mark, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Oh my God! What are you? You're up early, Marco.
I am up early because I'm going to work out before the sun comes up, or, well, maybe a little after the sun comes up.
You mean it hasn't come up in Longmeadow? It seems like it's up here.
Well, yeah, it is up. I'm looking out the window. A lot of downed trees and, brush from yesterday's thunderstorm.
Big thunderstorm.
And
We had
I
nothing here.
I was recording a radio feature during it. And the hail yesterday was incredible.
Oh, so this was a big storm. What time of day was it yesterday?
Well, where were you?
Oh, I know where I was. I was at the Russian Crepe House in Southwick.
Actually,
no wonder.
Mark, we had literally nothing here except for thunder. It didn't even rain. That thunderstorm developed just as it passed by us. And then it became severe by the time it hit Springfield, so it developed that fast.
It was amazing. I mean, I had left a lunch meeting, and I could see the storm clouds in the background, and I had to run home and record a radio thing. So by the time I got home, the winds were whipping around, and there's a street sign in front of my house that was bending backwards and forwards. And,
oh, my gosh.
The hail was hitting the roof and the windows, and you could see the hail. And it was all over and done with in about 15 minutes, but it left a lot of damage in Longmeadow.
Oh, gosh. So, and I think that Danny Nason even posted a picture of what looked like a tornado or something, and I wondered, where the heck, did you hear about that, Peter? And all women, he's got his.
No.
Peter, the tornado that there was like.
I didn't hear about a tornado.
Well, I swear, Danny Nason took a picture of what looked like a storm cloud with a funnel below it. Now I may be wrong. Maybe I was hallucinating for all I know.
The National Weather Service would have to investigate that, like today, to see the damage patterns.
And
then they can rule whether it's a tornado. But I didn't see a tornado warning issued. So.
Yeah. Wow. So tomorrow, I think they're predicting scattered thunderstorms as well. So and heavy rain. So we're in for it, I guess, huh?
I guess we are, and maybe it's global warming or climate change. But it seems this summer, when we've had thunderstorms, they've been more severe than they have in other years.
Oh yeah, you got that one right. You got that one. Hey, Mark. Are you going to stay on with us, or are you going to?
I'll stay on with you guys for a while. I just figured since Jay was away, I would come earlier.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we'll do our regular chit chat of Peter and I going back and forth a little later than we do.
Well, since the phone adapter's working okay, you can stay. So it sounds pretty good.
It sounds great. As a matter of fact, I bet our listeners are going, Mark is out of rehab. He actually sounds like he is mobile. Could it be true?
Mobile. I've been home for since July 10th, and I can get around a little bit. I go to physical therapy every day. I'm working. The only issue that I haven't resolved yet is climbing upstairs, which I do very slowly, and being in a car. I can sit in a car for maybe 10 minutes before it gets really uncomfortable. So I'm sort of restricted to Longmeadow. I've tried to review a couple of shows, but the drive back and forth to the Berkshires is more than I can do. And driving to Hartford is more than I can do. So I'm not really going to go back and review anything till the end of September.
Sure.
And I probably won't be doing Art Beat Radio with you guys live in person until the end of September, when I can actually sit in the car and drive.
Oh, gosh.
Sounds good.
So, is it your when you're driving? Are you driving, or are you just sitting when you're in the car?
It doesn't. I know how I can drive, but I have a leg brace on my right leg that goes from my ankle all the way to my hip, and
oh, wow.
it makes sitting really difficult. So I usually like to keep my legs up, on a chair or on a couch or something like that.
Sure.
I do walk now with a cane, very slowly, and I've come a long way since April 14th.
We are so thrilled that you are now you've rejoined the human race, as Dolly Levi and Hello Dolly would say.
I know. I mean, I'm hoping to be back on my feet and reviewing shows when Hello Dolly comes to the Bushnell in Hartford in November.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just taking it very slow. I'm extremely fortunate that most of the work that I do that brings the income in is something I can do from my home office. So,
yeah.
And on the phone and online. So I haven't had to travel. But come November, I have a couple of work commitments out of town, so I have to be back on my feet.
Oh, you're gonna be right there. You're gonna be right there.
Hey, Mark, just a thought. Now that I got this phone thing working, maybe I can come over, and if you want to tape a couple shows, we could extend you out a little bit for live shows. We could tape a few in September or something.
Well, I'm hoping to do that, and you and I need to talk, because if all goes well, I'd like to come out there and tape 2 or 3 back to back.
Yeah, but I mean, I could tape one
if we can make it work.
I could tape one from your humble abode.
Oh, listen to that.
You could.
I just plug into your house phone.
You could. Yeah, that's a possibility. But, I want to have guests on my Artspeed is known for its guests. So,
yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Having a lot of people coming here to the house makes things very difficult, because I'm only living on the first floor of my condo, and it is strewn with everything that was on the second floor.
You could be out by the pool, Mark.
You want to have in-person guests. You don't want to have phone guests. I was saying I could bring the phone stuff over and we could do that.
Well, that might be really cool. And, I have been to the pool. I can't neglect tanning opportunities. So I may be walking with a cane and walking slowly, but I'm perfectly tan.
I also see you have a waiver for the white shoe season extension.
Yeah, the white shoe season will extend until the first frost.
Until the first frost, which will probably be in October. So you got a little while
He filed
to go
for
there.
his waiver early, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I applied for that. I got that along with my handicap placard for the car.
Are you
I pulled over for white shoes after Labor Day.
Oh, you get pulled over. The fashion police are out there. Yeah. Hey, so do you wear shorts? Are you? You're a man who's probably about 10 years younger than I. But I wonder, Dev, are you a short person? I mean, not short person, but a shorts person.
But not. I mean, I wear cargo shorts. They're lower. They're not mid-thigh. But the thing is that with my leg braces, I can't get into pants. So I'll be wearing shorts probably till the beginning of winter.
Oh, wow. You're going to be like Ken Stopsky.
Yeah, we're going to start calling you Ken Stopsky.
Ken wears shorts the entire year. You'd swear he lived in California or someplace.
Yeah. I think hopefully by, the first frost, when the white shoes get put in the closet until next year, that I'll be able to get into long pants.
I get it. Hey, Mark, we were talking about iconic restaurants, and I was trying to think. There used to be a restaurant that was in a hotel that got torn down. It was like the hotel in Springfield. It was like on near Appermont, on the Appermont Square, not Appermont Square. It was down near the bus station.
I think it was the Kimball.
Could it be the
Kimball? It was on the Appermont, and it did have a restaurant, or maybe it was the Highland House.
Oh, for gosh sakes! You just solved the issue for me. It was the Highland Hotel,
Yeah, the Highland Hotel. I never went there, but my parents used to go there for dinner.
Oh yeah, it was the place. It was the iconic place. My aunt used to take me. My rich aunt used to take me for a lobster there. That's where I learned to enjoy the finer things of life. She would take this young kid, and she taught me how to eat a lobster. And it was that to me was a big loss because it had so many memories. I'm wondering for you in Longmeadow, is there an iconic, immediately one came to mind, iconic restaurant in Longmeadow?
There really isn't, but...
The Hookie Lao.
And I want to think in the early 60s,
Yeah.
The Blakes had a friendly ice cream store that was near the Big Y. And they opened an upscale part of it called the Steak and Sunday Shop, where they served lobster Newburg and steaks, and it had waiters and tablecloths and all that. And that was a place that people sort of went for something special. But the most iconic restaurant that I remember as a kid was the Terrace Room at Bradley Airport, where you'd sit up on the second floor of the terminal building with large windows that overlooked all the runways, and you could have this elegant dinner and watch the planes come in and out. And as a child, that was the place I wanted to go for my birthday more than anything else. And
That's
I
cool.
can't remember if the food was any good, but sitting there and watching the planes come up to the terminal was so exciting.
Yeah, well,
that's why I like going to Socks.
Yeah, how do you say that?
Sock.
How do you spell that?
S-O-K.
I don't know. I haven't been there since it changed owners.
Yeah, Sox. Okay, so it sounds like Red Sox, but it's SOK''S. The runway, Sox Runway Restaurant at the Westfield Airport. It's a place that you could go, and they actually have an outdoor terrace. I think you can sit on to watch planes come in and out, etc. So. We have one like that in Westfield. What's in Chicopee when you think iconic restaurant in Chicopee? Do you think of any?
Well, it's gone now, but Hookie Lao.
I think the Munich House.
I was thinking Munich.
The Collegian Court.
For the Polish food, Collegian Court. Oh, gosh.
That was another restaurant that's been rescued recently from closing.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And in Holyoke, what about, I was thinking the Bud, but the Bud was an old speakeasy. You remember the old speakeasy?
Yeah, I think the Yankee Peddler in Holyoke was certainly iconic, and people really miss its departure.
And the Delaney House is the other one.
Ah, that's right. But the Yankee Peddler, my gosh, for years and years, you remember, what was it? They even had shows back there. It was like a music hall
or something.
They had
like an opera house in the back.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that closed a couple of years ago, and it's been turned into a People's Bank. But People's Bank has sort of respected the architecture of it, and unfortunately, there won't be weddings and bar mitzvahs and proms there anymore.
But they can deposit their fortunes right there. That's the truth.
Exactly. You know, you can stop and visit the ATM and pretend you're ordering something fancy.
Yeah. Hey, okay, so we've covered the area a little bit. Here, West Springfield, an iconic restaurant in West Vincent's Steakhouse.
Haunted Vincent's Steakhouse.
How's that? Is that good?
I remember Vincent's from high school, but I also, at the Agawam, the Federal Hill Club.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
That was like a real special occasion place.
Yeah.
And then for us regular people, Take 5 has always been a great restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. And they serve enough food when you order for one for the entire table. Honest to God. It's
I'm
really true. Yeah. At the Federal Hill, they had a real special thing. Do they still serve spun, what do you call that, spun sugar, cotton candy?
I don't know if they do, but they're opening. The Federal is probably one of the finest restaurants in the area, and they're opening a pasta restaurant in Longmeadow. I'm not sure exactly when it opens, but it's where Bertucci's used to be in the Longmeadow shop.
Ooh, I didn't realize Bertucci's was gone.
And
yeah, Bertucci's is gone.
Pastas, and I suspect that it's going to open within the next month or two.
And where is that? Where did you?
It's in the Longmeadow shops, where Bertucci's restaurant used to be.
Wild. Well, if you think Boston, what's your iconic restaurant for Boston? It doesn't have to be there any longer, but what's your iconic? Durgan Park?
I'm not a Boston person particularly, but there's two that I remember. One was Durgan Park.
Yeah, Durgan Park, yes.
There was sawdust on the floors, and it was...
I stole a bean pot.
I stole
a bean pot.
Good.
Yeah, Mark, I stole...
And the other one was Cafe Budapest.
Oh, I don't remember that one at all. No.
Yeah, I can't tell you where it was,
yeah.
But they had cherry soup, and they had gypsy violinists going from table to table.
Oh, really?
And going there was like a total event.
Oh, my gosh. I was dared once at Durgan Park by my roommate to steal the popcorn. It was in an old bean pot, and they used to serve popcorn in these bean pots. I stole the bean pot. Honest to God, I must have been a crook back then. I swear. I take back that I am not a crook line that I said earlier. Durgan Park, and the other one for me was Anthony's Pier 4. Do you remember that at all?
I remember hearing about it, but I don't think I ever went.
That's no longer there. And for me, the only other restaurant toward the western part, I don't have one in Worcester at all. I can't think of an iconic one in Worcester.
Oh, there was a really great one in Worcester called El Morocco.
Oh.
And it was on a hill overlooking the downtown part of the city. And I used to cover shows at the Foothills Theater, which is now long gone.
Oh, yes.
In downtown Worcester.
Yeah.
And the guy that owned this restaurant would host cast parties. And the food was Middle Eastern. I don't think it was particularly authentic.
Yeah.
But the views of the city and the ambiance of that place were amazing. And regrettably, it's part of the past. It was torn down.
Wild. Hey, it's so interesting to me. I bet our listeners are now thinking, "Wow, what were the restaurants that I remember most?" And you can taste the food, you can get the ambiance, etc., etc. What do you think an iconic restaurant will be 10 years from now? Is there any particular place that you go right now that you could say this is going to become iconic?
I don't think so. I think that the restaurant business has changed, and everybody's trying to be new and, the next step. So there's no place that people continue to go over and over again necessarily for something that you would say is iconic. In New York, there are a couple of them. I think the Russian Tea Room.
Oh, gosh, speaking of Russian crepes.
A really iconic restaurant. It's changed hands many times over the years, but it's still a dining experience where you go there as in the same way you'd go to the theater or the opera or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a special event, and you get a show along with your meal, just the way the waiters walk around bringing the flaming dishes and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember going as a child. I went a couple of years ago. It wasn't the same, but it brought back the memories of childhood.
Yeah. I remember it because it had a heated sidewalk outside. And the whole street in snowy days, when I would live there, would snow everywhere except for in front of the Russian Tea Room. It's on 57th Street, is that correct?
57th, and it had Christmas lights up all year long.
Everyone loves Christmas. Oh, the Lido in Springfield. Oh, no, Santee's in downtown Springfield had a Christmas theme all year long, as I remember, in the South End.
And there was another restaurant, Bob, in Springfield, and I believe it was on Worthington Street, and you took me there for dinner once. Silvano's, where you walked in.
Oh, my God, yes.
And they were the grandmothers making the red sauce.
Yes,
and stuff,
the Anton family. Yeah, I taught the twins in Agawam, the Antons, Anton, and it was this house, and you swear that they were living there while they were, like you were having, food in their dining room or whatever, And the interesting thing about that, Peter, was that they served you spaghetti, chicken. This is their big thing: spaghetti, chicken, and French fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, spaghetti and French fries. To me, isn't that redundant? I mean, like
no, because the kids always
good when you want comfort food. There was nothing like a big plate of spaghetti and red sauce and potatoes on the side.
Oh man, I remember that those days. Mark, I take you there, but you can't go 10 minutes out of the town yet, and it's no longer there, unfortunately, is it?
It's no longer there. So I'm living on. We do go out to eat, and either the 99s, where I've discovered lobster rolls this summer, and there's a great new Vietnamese restaurant that opened at the Rotary in East Long Meadow, and it's called Pho Delicious.
Really?
Pho Delicious.
I like Vietnamese food, but it's very light, and I don't have much of an appetite yet. So, a bowl of soup is fine for me.
Bob, you'll have to take him to Alo Saigon.
I was going to say Alo Saigon right here. When you come, we'll go to the Vietnamese restaurant in downtown Westfield. There's also Yummy Noodles, which is owned by the guy that owns Westfield, the music shop, right there on Elm Street.
I think I was at Yummy Noodles before my accident, and I liked it.
Well, we'll have to take you back so that the trauma gets resolved, etc.
Hey, Bob, you need a break. It's 6:45.
I do need a break. I'm going to play. I think this is really interesting. I had an imaginary playmate when I was about 4 or 5 or 6 years old. Yeah, I know. And it was funny. We were talking about the book that we learned to read on in my years was Fun with Dick and Jane. You remember this?
Yeah.
And I remembered that they'd had a sister or somebody. There was Sally, or their baby sister was Sally. My imaginary friend growing up was Sally, and we were arguing about whether there was a Sally in the Dick and Jane series, and then I go to Susan Dargy's office in the Westfield schools last week to work on the Scarecrow Trail for Pumpkin Fest, which is happening on October 19th. And there on the wall are pictures of Dick and Jane and Sally. I said, this corroborates the idea that Sally is my imaginary friend and Sally was Dick and Jane. That's probably where I got Sally. So I'm online the other day, right after we talked about this Sally stuff, and I see Sneaking Sally Through the Alley by Alan Toussaint. And, of course, Alan Toussaint is a great New Orleans artist. So I'm going to play for everyone Sneaking Sally Through the Alley, which I used to do when I played. You have we'll talk about imaginary friends when we think about your imaginary friend. Maybe that proved that I was crazy or something. I don't know. Sneaking Sally Through the Alley.
all in lights. And Mama just looked at me as if I was crazy and didn't even bat an eye. So I began to try and explain that it wasn't just what she thought. But I better find something to do with my time. The fact is I've just been caught sneaking Sally through the alley. 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 All right.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is August 20th. Where has our summer gone? 2019. And we're here today at the beautiful Studio 120, we're calling it, at Westfield Technical Academy. And I got on the phone today Mark Auerbach and for Jay Pagluka. He actually came to us a little early today. Mark, it's so great to have you.
Itching to do radio.
Yeah, I gotcha. Hey, Mark, I came up with this great idea for you, okay? I want you to go on your internet or television and subscribe to BroadwayHD.com for a week. It's a free subscription. And review some of the shows that are on there, particularly on there right now. There's a new version of Kinky Boots from London, and there's The King and I with Kelly O'Hara from London. There's a 42nd Street from London, live and a revamped version of 42nd Street, as well as all kinds of interesting theater and whatever. And I was talking to somebody who was basically housebound, who loved theater and couldn't go this week. And I said, you got to get on this Broadway HD because, heck, you'd be able to go to the theater every night of the week. We watched at Liberty, Elaine Stritch's 2.5 hour marathon of Elaine Stritch the other night. Have you seen it at all? Have you heard of Broadway HD?
Yeah, I actually, while I was in rehab and had a really large flat screen TV, I would watch it. But at home, I tend to watch stuff on my tablet, and I have a subscription to it, and some of the things that they've shown are good, but it's kind of one of those things where you have to be in the mood for it, and I
you
prefer
really
real
do.
stuff and not the televised.
Yeah.
But I've learned on YouTube you can find bootlegged videos of just about every Broadway show from eternity.
How does that work?
Also, some of the stuff like people are posting on Facebook on the theater channels and theater groups there. They're posting things like the Tony Awards going back over the years or some of the variety show performances. And I could sit and watch those all day.
Oh gosh, you start watching reruns of television shows of old programs that were on weekly. Oh, you're exactly right. Well, I wondered. You said bootleg musicals. Bootleg sounds like bootleg gym, like Prohibition or something. Talk about that.
Well, I mean, it's something that I don't endorse. People took video cameras into the theater and filmed a performance.
Right.
And I mean, the quality of them is usually pretty awful. It's illegal to do it, but they seem to proliferate on YouTube. And, in some of the cases, it's from shows decades ago, and I don't know how they did it because, with a cell phone, you could make a video of something.
Right.
But, this is prior to the days when equipment was so light and mobile. But seeing some of the iconic performances that were preserved going back, I think it's just an incredible thing.
Yeah. Well, Ed Sullivan's show had a lot of every other week or so. Actually, Elaine Stritch in her one-woman show talked about her first appearance on Ed Sullivan, and she was in Call Me Madam or something. I think she was in the national tour or something, and so she was on the Sullivan show, and she or maybe it was Sail Away, the Noah Coward musical. So Ed Sullivan is introducing Elaine Stritch, and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, direct from Broadway, please welcome Eileen Stritch." It's sort of like, who was that guy? John Travolta called somebody, what's her name from, oh gosh.
Yeah, he misidentified Idina Menzel.
Yes.
But, on some of the Ed Sullivan shows, Ed Sullivan really championed Broadway. And so performances of musicals would be part of the weekly show.
Yeah.
And you can find these on YouTube. They've been released by CBS. But there was a famous musical or infamous musical, short-lived, called Henry Sweet Henry.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
A Broadway star out of a young woman named Alice Clayton. And it's the story of teenagers that are stalking a famous pianist. And there's a production number from that, from the Ed Sullivan Show. And the choreography was by Michael Bennett, who became famous for Chorus Line and Dreamgrove.
Sure.
And that was his first choreography. And that's up there. And then there's another one. Vivian Lee won a Tony Award for a musical called Javarich.
Mm-hmm.
And while she was in Javarich, she was only in it for a short period of time. She had a nervous breakdown. And
oh,
she was
really?
replaced by Ava Gabor.
Who I saw Ava Gabor do this at Storedon Music Fair. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, you did. But Javarich on Broadway had a Charleston number that Vivian Lee's character performed, and it was performed on the Ed Sullivan Show. And people that Google it and find it on YouTube will be astounded at the fact that Vivian Lee could dance rather well. She couldn't sing. But this production number is just absolutely charming.
Oh, I got to see this. And you can also watch, I think, I did watch Katharine Hepburn doing Coco or something, and singing.
That's right. When she was nominated for a Tony Award for her only musical, which was the life story of Coco Chanel, it was staged by Michael Bennett.
Right. Music by Andre Previn,
by
actually.
Cecil Beaton.
Yeah.
And there was this lavish production number at the end of the show, and the Tony Awards presented it, and it was 17 or 18 minutes long, with a big theatrical speech by Katharine Hepburn, and then her attempt to sing a song,
Oh,
and
my
then
God, yes.
this fashion show that was just astonishing.
Ah, yeah. So folks could go online, and if you can't get to the theater, always better to see live theater. Even when you watch it on television, I always say there's something about seeing people. What is that? It's sort of like watching somebody walk a tightrope, that they're doing it live.
I think there's the when you go to live theater, there's the unexpected. You're not sure what's going to happen. There's the fact that you're with a bunch of people watching the same thing and reacting to the actors who are reacting to the audience. It's a give and take that you don't get when you go to the movies, and you certainly don't get when you're watching television.
Yeah, I always think that there is something, even when you watch at home, it's an experience between you and your television set. When you're sitting next to somebody and somebody's in front of you and to the right and left of you, except behind you, there is that group experience, all laughing together, perhaps all crying together, all having different emotions together as you watch the same thing. It's just, there's an electricity that happens in a theater that doesn't happen even in a movie theater. It's very seldom in a movie theater do you get that. Do you find that, Mark? Or if
I find that because, first of all, when you're in a theater, a stage theater, people are supposedly paying attention to what's going on the stage. The actors are taking the energy that's coming from the audience, and they're giving the energy back. And it's a real dialogue between audience and what's going on stage. When I go to the movies, people are talking and eating and checking their emails, and I don't find it easy to concentrate on what's going on. So I actually prefer to watch movies at home. But I think of movie viewing or TV viewing as a solitary thing, as something you do alone.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to the theater, you're part of a group.
Yes, yeah. And, hey, when we come back, we'll talk all kinds of theater. It's 6:58 in the morning. Hey, it's going to be a great weekend. We have the Taste of Westfield here coming this weekend. You're going to be there, Peter, aren't you?
It's called the Food Fest now, Bob.
Oh,
hasn't been the Taste of Westfield in a while.
Oh,
just saying.
Oh my God, it's the Rotary's Food
Fest. Yes, Friday and Saturday. Friday night 5 to 9. Saturday I think it's 12 to 9.
So it doesn't go on all 3 days. It's just the 2 days.
Just the 2 days. Yeah, they went to 2-day format last year, and it worked out very, very well.
And you're going to be there. With
Channel
Ken.
15 will be there all weekend. I don't know if we can be on 89.5. I haven't checked with the student leadership yet, but
yes,
you can see what's going on, and we're going to make an effort to give you a little tease of the bands, but instead of just listening to the bands, we're going to actually go up to the stage and see the bands.
Listen to that. My gosh. We're actually going to be, you have roving cameras.
I have lots of cable, too.
Wild. So that's something to be seen. I know that the Art Walk of Westfield's Art Walk is happening during this. They're going to have a
Friday night, I would think.
And, Downtown Live is happening there next to Mina's. We went to the last Friday's wonderful celebration of Woodstock down there, and it was a great evening.
A lot of stuff going on.
Oh my God, so much! And of course, we're planning Pumpkin Fest. Everybody, put that in your calendar.
And you have one more concert on the green,
I do,
too?
September 12th. It's a Hitting the Note. It's a tribute band. It's the Allman Brothers tribute band.
That's the one I wanted to see. So I'm so psyched. Well, I'm not happy it got rained out. I'm happy that I can see it now.
Yeah, it's exactly, and you're going to actually see it on a lit stage because the
cake will
be
down,
is
right?
coming down in a couple of weeks.
So you're going to do it on the other side on the stage.
We're going to, I think, be back on the stage, and
that's a great way to finish off the summer.
Great way to finish off the summer, and so you guys get to that on September 12th. Also, if you need a picture of that cake. The 350.
Do it fast.
Do it fast.
It's going to Hatfield.
Absolutely. All righty. We're going to talk Broadway with Marco Auerbach in one moment after we listen to the Schuyler Sisters from Hamilton. Our wonderful what's his name? Lin-Manuel Miranda's great show. Here's the Schuyler Sisters. It's a good song.
There's nothing rich folks love more than going downtown and slumming it with the poor. They pull up in their carriages and gawk at the students in the common just to watch them talk. Take Philip Schuyler, the man is loaded. Uh-oh, but little does he know that his daughters, Peggy, Angelica, Eliza, sneak into the city just to watch all the guys.
Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy, the Schuyler sisters. Angelica, Peggy, Eliza, Daddy said to be home by sundown. Daddy doesn't need to know. Daddy said not to go downtown. Like I said, you're free to go. for a mind at work. I'm looking for a mind at work. I'm looking for a mind at work. Whoa, 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 work.
Ooh, there's nothing like summer in the city. Someone in a rush next to someone looking pretty. Excuse me, miss, I know it's not funny, but your perfume smells like your daddy's got money. While you slumming in the city in your fancy heels, you searching for an urchin who can give you ideals.
Sir, you disgust me.
Ah, so you disgust me. I'm a trust fund, baby, you can trust me.
I've been reading Common Sense by Thomas Paine. So men say that I'm intense or I'm insane. You want a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration. Behold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'ma compel him to include women in the sequel. Work! Look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. Look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. History is happening in Manhattan, and we just happen to be in the greatest city in the world. In the greatest city in the world. 'Cause I'm the crown, so let's say that I'm intense or I'm insane. Do you want a revolution or a revelation? To my declaration, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. History is happening in Manhattan, and we just happen to be in the greatest city in the world. In the greatest city in the world. Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy, the Schuyler sisters. We're looking for a mind at work. Hey, in the greatest city, in the greatest city in the world.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it's Tuesday morning. It is August 20th, 2019, and that great music from Cy Coleman welcomes Mark Auerbach to our show. He's been with us for almost an hour now, but Mark
Now it's official.
Now it's official. I love this musical, Sky. What is it called? Seesaw.
This is called Seesaw, and it was choreographed and directed by Michael Bennett, and it starred Ken Howard and Michelle Lee.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. That was, I think Michelle, well, no, Michelle Lee was in How to Succeed, but that was her big star thing, really. She was dynamite.
I think it was, and it also introduced Tommy Tune as a stage performer that wasn't in the chorus. He played a large role in Seesaw, and he had a show-stopping number in the show called "It's Not Where You Start, It's Where You Finish."
Oh yeah,
and from there, after Seesaw, he kind of turned towards choreography and direction, but he also starred in My One and Only.
Oh, that's right.
On
Yeah.
Broadway. And he choreographed that, and he choreographed Grand Hotel and directed that, and the Will Rogers Follies.
And Nine.
He's an iconic Broadway song and dance man.
17 feet tall. You can see him in the film version of Hello, Dolly. He plays Ambrose Kemper in that.
That's right. And Hello, Dolly the movie just turned 50 years old.
No. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious.
Where?
I saw something on Facebook the other day. It said celebrating the 50th anniversary of the film, and I never cared for the movie.
I know. I think they should make it
really
over.
liked the Broadway show better.
Yeah, I really think that. Barbara Streisand was totally miscast in that. I mean, she sort of got it, but she didn't get it, and it seemed like a canned performance so much. I don't know. Gene Kelly directed it. A few people know that Gene Kelly was a director as well, as being a choreographer and a dancer as well in films. But Gene Kelly directed Walter Matthau and with Barbara Streisand in it, and it was beautiful to watch. It was okay, but you got to do it again. And they ought to film what's her name, Bette Midler. Wouldn't that be good to have a remake of that? Or you performance, or perhaps Betty Buckley, who's coming to it in Hartford, or is it?
It comes to Hartford mid-November, and it's going to be starring Carolee Carmello. And people go, well, who's she? But she's been on Broadway in a number of shows. She was nominated for a Tony Award for her performance in a musical called Parade. She starred as Amy Semple McPherson in a musical called Scandalous that was written by Kathy Lee Gifford.
Kathy Lee Gifford
on Broadway.
Yeah.
Carolee Carmello is just a dynamic stage performer, and I think people will like her.
What's that season looking like down at the Bushnell in Hartford this year?
Well, they've got a couple of really good shows coming. They open with SpongeBob, the musical.
Oh, my gosh, that's fun for everyone.
It was really fun on Broadway, so I think of Jesus Christ Superstar, a tour of that.
Oh, not again.
The Tony Award-winning show, Dear Evan Hansen. They've got the Tony Award-winning show, The Band's Visit. And then they have the Jimmy Buffett musical, Escape from Margaritaville. So they've got a good Broadway season on.
Is this the time to...
Wait a minute. The Band's Visit, that's...
the Book of Mormon in October.
The Band's Visit, wasn't that like last year at Hartford Stage?
Which one?
The Band's Visit.
Yeah, the Band Visit originated in a workshop at Hartford Stage.
Yeah.
The other show they've got that originated at Hartford Stage is Anastasia.
Okay.
And I loved Anastasia. I could have seen it 10 times.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to get the opportunity to see it at the Bushnell on a tour and see what the Broadway show looked like compared to the Hartford stage.
Yes. Hey, so is this the time to buy a subscription to your favorite theater, whether it be Majestic Theater or in West Springfield or Bushnell or wherever anybody is, to look for... Do you get a sale early on?
Well, the thing is, most subscriptions have been on sale for a while. The ones for the Bushnell went on sale at the beginning of the summer. So if you think, one, that you're going to attend all of the shows in their season,
right,
you save money by buying a subscription. Two, buying a subscription benefits the theater because they know, if they're filled up on subscriptions, they don't have to spend a lot of advertising dollars and other resources to fill up the seats. So it's great for the theaters when people purchase a subscription. But if you only think you're going to go once or twice, I would go show by show. But subscriptions, depending on the theater, offer some really good benefits, and one of them is the opportunity to exchange tickets. So if you buy a Tuesday night series and you find out that the Tuesday night of Hello Dolly, you've got a bridge game that you can't skip or something.
Yeah, I've got mahjong. I got mahjong with the girls though over down in Long Meadow that night, so I'm not going to.
There's a mahjong tournament on the Long Meadow Green, so I can't go.
Yeah.
But you can exchange tickets, and then one of the better benefits to being a subscriber, if you lose your ticket, the theater will replace them at no charge or for a modest service charge. If you buy single tickets to a show, you can't exchange them for another performance. And if you lose them, you've lost them.
Yeah.
Don't a lot of them offer like different plans? Like if you want to buy a full season or like small packages, like 4 shows or 2 shows or stuff like that?
It depends on the theater company. I know that with the Springfield Symphony, you could. They have a series package where you pick 4 concerts, any 4 of that they're doing for the season, and you get a discount off of the single ticket prices. So sometimes there are deals. Sometimes there are passes. Like TheaterWorks offered a pass a couple of years ago where you bought each pass was good for a certain number of tickets, and you redeemed them as you went along, and you could use the pass. I think it was at the time for 4 tickets. You could use all 4 tickets for 1 show, or you could go once to 4 shows, and it offered a lot of flexibility.
Well, when you look at a season, Mark, like the Bushnell season, my gosh, I haven't seen the band's visit. Dear Evan Hansen, this great show. I mean, am I going to risk by not buying my tickets now, not having it sold out, or it's sort of like Campbellton or whatever? And are those? Is the Bushnell prices similar to Broadway?
They're similar. They're not quite as expensive as New York, but you figure it this way. If you're going to go to New York, you've got to pay to get there. You've got to pay to park. You've got to eat something.
Right.
And you've got to have your theater ticket, and it adds up, and it gets pricey. You go to the Bushnell, the parking is free. The quality of the shows is just as good as what you would see in New York.
Right.
And to me, it's a bargain, and you're supporting something local. It's too bad that we don't have Broadway-style theater in Springfield anymore. And the Fine Arts Center in Amherst used to bring touring shows, but
they
don't
any longer.
1 a year now because they're concentrating on other things. So our Broadway venue is basically the Bushnell.
Wow. Or going to Boston, I suppose, and hoping that you can maybe you catch a show pre-Broadway in Boston. Are they still doing that? Where the show goes to Boston tryout?
Do that. In fact, the biggest hit on Broadway right now is a musical called Moulin Rouge.
Oh gosh,
which was
yes.
based on the movie, Baz Luhrmann's movie with Nicole Kidman and all that. It's been developed as a Broadway show, and it tried out at the Colonial in Boston, and then went from the Colonial to Broadway. And the revival of Pippin and a new musical called Jagged Little Pill and Porgy and Bess revivals, those originated in Boston at the ART Theater in Cambridge.
So it'd be really interesting to go to that, the ART in Cambridge, and that's Arts Repertory Theater, I suppose?
The American Repertory Theater is on the Harvard campus.
Uh-huh.
They do a lot of pre-Broadway work, but so does Goodspeed Musicals, which is in our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
They do pre-Broadway, and Barrington Stage does pre-Broadway.
Right.
Berkshire Theater just had a show called Rock and Roll Man that's headed to Broadway. So you can see some pre-Broadway in our neighborhood, and of course Hartford Stage has sent Anastasia and A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder to New York. And a show they did last year called Make Believe, which was the story of 4 kids who are playing in a house and their parents seem to have abandoned them. It was a comedy that turned very serious. That just opened off Broadway.
Oh,
so, some of the stuff you see at Hartford Stage will end up on Broadway.
Yeah. So, and I think that we have to, I've got to get out more. And that's, as a senior, I got to get out more. And the one way to do it is to have that subscription, I suppose, or that we are going on this night to this show, and you build your schedule around it or something. But to have those tickets ahead of time, or to really make a sort of like a New Year's resolution. a mid-year resolution or 9-month resolution. I am going to see more live theater this year. I really have to. It invigorates me. You must miss it because you see 3 shows a week or so, didn't you, Mark?
I was seeing 3 shows a week. Now I'm seeing maybe 1 show every couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I hope to go back by the end of September.
Yeah.
And be able to review at least 2 shows a week like I normally did.
What's the one show that in the area that's coming?
Writing that I do and the radio that I do.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to go on the radio and preview something.
Right.
But when you haven't seen it, you're basically recapping what's in a press release. It's another thing to review it and talk about an experience that you had.
Yeah. What show are you looking forward to most in the fall season?
Well, there's a couple of them. One is a new version of Don Quixote, which people know as
Man of La Mancha. Yeah.
And it's called Quixote Nuevo, and it's opening the season at Hartford Stage. And it's a reimagining of the Don Quixote story that was originally from Cervantes,
mm-hmm.
and it's placed on the Texas border. And
my gosh!
It features a Latino cast. It was written by an award-winning Latino playwright, and it's a co-production of 3 major American theater companies, which I suspect will be on Broadway a year from now, if not less.
Is it a musical, Mark?
It's got music in it, but it's not a musical.
So we're gonna
stage season. So
sure.
I'm really excited about that.
Quixote is going to be tilting oil rigs, I suppose.
I don't know. I mean, but with what's going on at the border right now, and a story about a man with a dream, I just think it's going to be potent theater.
Ah, got it. Yes, yeah. And the name of it is Quixote Nuevo?
Quixote Nuevo, and it opens the season in a couple of weeks at Hartford Stage.
Wild. Hey, 7:19 in the morning, I'm going to play a song from Working. Is that still up there at the Unicorn?
Working is at Berkshire Theater, Unicorn Theater, until this weekend. So you still have a chance to go see it if it's not sold out. It's got direction by James Barry, who's one of the most talented musical directors around.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got an interesting past. It was written and conceived of by Stephen Schwartz, who wrote Godspell and Pippin and Wicked. And
sure.
He got some other composers to work with him, and they told the story of Studs Terkel's book, Working, which explores the life of working people, mail carriers, waitresses, the people that do the jobs that keep America moving. And it was not a big hit when it played Broadway the first time.
Right.
And it sat there, and then it was revived and revamped, and Lin-Manuel Miranda and James Taylor contributed new music to parts of it.
Wow.
And it opened in London, was a big hit, came to New York and ran off Broadway, and now Berkshire Theater's got it, and it's gotten rave reviews and great word of mouth, and it runs until through this weekend at their Unicorn Theater in Stockton.
It sounds like it's a wonderful show. The music is by, as you said, a variety of composers all working on one musical together. And I'm going to play one by a composer that many people probably don't know. His name is Craig Carnelia. Do you know Craig Carnelia at all?
I do know him because he was the collaborator with Stephen Schwartz on Working, and he contributed several songs.
Sure, he did what's the name of those black leather shoes reflect up what's the name of that?
Yeah, just that black patent leather shoes. It was a review. I remember that.
Yeah. An interesting thing. So I'm going to play. This is from the original. I like this version a lot. David Patrick Kelly sings "The Mason," and he talks about, I think, his father, who is a mason who builds buildings. Here we go.
He builds a house with his hands. 30 years go by, it stands where nothing stood. A house of stone, the mason sleeps real good. He does his work, his workday flies. Quitting time's a big surprise. And then it's one more stone to get just right. It's always one more stone before the night. Every house he builds, every stone he lays, it's not just making money and counting off the days. He builds a house with his hands. 100 years go by, it stands, it tells you who he was. A life goes fast, but the work a mason does, it's made to last. The work a mason does, it's made to last.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It's August 20th, 2019. We are here at the beautiful Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy. Actually, we've got Stefan Zaporowski, the superintendent of schools, who used to be the principal of this school. He's going to be on with Ken Stomsky later in the morning, so stay tuned for that. But meanwhile, I have critic extraordinaire Mark Auerbach on the phone, direct from the pool in Long Meadow. And Marco, the pool is now open. I guess most pools now are open, right? Or what am I saying? Most pools.
It's the hottest part of the summer. The pools are open, Bob.
I forgot. The
pool will be open at 10 o'clock, and I will be there by 10:30.
Hey, I was thinking this, that somehow or other this summer, I have stayed indoors most of the summer, as you could probably tell from my sallow skin. And so consequently, when you're outdoors and you're doing stuff outdoors,
Hey, Bob.
You feel like it's summer.
Get out there and volunteer.
I got to get out there and volunteer. Well, actually, yeah. All of my stuff has been at the computer for the last, for the last 2 months, working with our great, my great friends Jason Polan and Heather White on the Dean Ott as well on Pumpkin Fest, which is happening Saturday, October 19th, down on the Green, Park Square, and Elm Street. It's a huge festival. It's one of the biggest festivals that I think Westfield on Weekends has ever offered. And
Well, Bob, I know that they're taking down the birthday cake that's been on the square for a long time.
A year.
It's going to become like a Westfield landmark. Maybe you could get a huge pumpkin and put it up there in its place.
Oh, you're very smart. Actually, we've got Sebastian Globacki. He actually has designed a 7 or 8 foot pumpkin that is made out of wrought iron or something, or the kind of stuff that rusts. What's that? Iron? Does iron or bronze? What?
I don't know. But,
I have no idea. So we actually do have one.
If they can have pumpkin spice in the coffee emporia this early in the season and Halloween candy in the stores, I think that you could have that pumpkin up there from the 4th of July until the pumpkin fest is over.
You are very, very wise, my friend. Actually, you're going to see...
There's something just wrong about that, Mark.
Yeah. I'm going to tease...
I know. I mean, it's just so wrong that here we are in the middle of August,
yes,
and we still have like 2 or 3 weeks before, or 2 weeks before school goes back, and pumpkin spice is already being marketed in everything, including a new version of Spam, which is going to feature a pumpkin spice.
No.
And it's like, really? It's just
please,
too
God,
early
no.
for that. And so you know that Labor Day comes up in a couple of weeks, and 2 or 3 days after Labor Day, Christmas stuff will be in the store.
You got it. I know. We might as well. Happy New Year, Mark. Have a great New Year.
I hope you have a good Easter up and coming, because I can't wait till the peeps are back.
Hey, the Pumpkin Fest is actually looking for, if you want vendors, if you want to be a vendor, or you want to participate as a volunteer, or have any kind of association with Pumpkin Fest, we'd love to hear from you. You go online to westfieldonweekends.com and you'll see information. And happily and excitedly, we are going to debut the new Westfield on Weekends logo at Pumpkin Fest. Actually, early September, down at the Creative Arts Center. I got to get it right. Creative Arts
Westfield
Center.
Creative Arts.
Yes, Westfield Creative Arts, but we have now the Renova is being rebranded. The Renova building is being rebranded as the WOW Creative Arts Center, and that happens early September. So we're all getting ready for all of that, and we look forward to it. But meanwhile, we've still got summer. We've got Downtown Live. This concert is happening this Friday night, as well as part of the what are they calling it? Rotary's Food Fest.
Rotary's Food Fest, yeah.
Yes.
Ever since they revived it, it's been called the Food Fest.
Yes. So, Mark, if you could...
But Bob's a traditionalist. So,
yes,
so
I'm still calling it
yes.
Taste of Westfield. It's no longer the Taste of Westfield. It's the Rotary Food Fest.
It's more about the music now than it really is about the food. I mean, the food's great, and there's a lot of places that are participating. But the band list is incredible.
Oh,
it really is, yeah.
So we got to look in the newspaper, and it's probably on the Rotary website as well, I would think, right?
I don't know. I had it up the other day. Let me look. I could probably find it if you guys start talking about something.
Well, I'll tell you what. Hey, Marco, you've got some great things happening in theater. Actually, am I still able to see the Capitol Steps?
You can see the Capitol Steps until August 30th at Cranwell. But they are coming back to the area on Friday, October 18th. They'll be doing a performance in Northampton at the Academy of Music Theater. So they'll be back.
Wow. Okay. And their show is called The Lion King.
The current show is called The Lion King. And although it opened in June in Washington and at Cranwell, and it's been touring across the country.
Right.
There's been a lot happening subsequent to its opening, like the Democratic debate, and Brexit. So the show is being updated constantly, and just about every week something new goes into it.
Oh my God!
And,
yes, they are going to have a song about Greenland.
50% changed since it opened in Cranwell. So
yeah.
If you saw it at the beginning of the summer when Peter Coles and I were up there taping it
right.
For a special, the show is probably 50% different now than it was then.
Ah. Well, you know, I was just saying that I'm sure they're going to do a song about Trump trying to buy Greenland, right?
It's hard to say what they're going to do with something about, because some stories are in the news and they're old news and gone in 24 hours.
Wow, that's true.
And they don't want to do a song that's going to be ancient history by the time they get it into the show.
Sure.
They pick and choose what issues are going to be around for a while.
Or who is who's in the Democratic debates? We just had Hickenlooper dropped out of the race, so they have to probably change lyrics and stuff like that. So it's going to be
there's a good mix of Republicans and Democrats being trashed at the moment. I mean, obviously,
they well-deserved trashing.
And Kellyanne Conway gets trashed on a regular basis.
Sarah
Huckabee Sanders. But they also trash Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Gets trashed. And Melania. So the show is an equal opportunity offender, if you want to call it that, and they go right down the middle. So there's people that are Republicans are going to laugh at what the Capitol steps do to the Democrats, and the Democrats are going to laugh at what Capitol steps do to the Republicans.
Do they appear across the country? They tour all over the. So my friends in Wisconsin.
Touring right now. The Cranwell one is wrapping up. The Washington one is in D.C. every week.
Right.
And in the next few months, they're going to be in Milwaukee. They'll be in Durham, North Carolina. If you go to their website, capsteps.com, and click on live appearances, you'll be able to see where they're playing all the way into probably March of 2020.
Ah, gotcha. So my friends, my relatives out there in Wisconsin, did you hear that? Get up to Milwaukee and see the Capitol steps.
Yeah, they're going to the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee. I know about that one.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to announce their New York City performances. They'll be in Boston Thanksgiving weekend. They'll be in Florida when it's cold here.
Sure.
They're going to do a lot of shows in California. And, they keep adding shows all the time. And because we're going into an election year, when there's a presidential election, they seem to be doing the most performances ever. So there's a good chance that you'll see them. Well, you'll definitely see them in Northampton, but there's a good chance that they'll be at Cranwell again next summer with an all-new show.
Hey, what else is happening? I noticed you've got something called If I Forget. Geez, this sounds like a show right up my alley.
At Barrington Stage about a Jewish family confronting the Holocaust.
Oh.
It's written by the same person who wrote Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah.
And has gotten good reviews. And then, let's see, there's a new musical premiering at Barrington Stage as well called False Springs, which is the story of a town that is suffering the effects of fracking in their town.
Fracking?
Again, I haven't seen it, but I've heard that it's good and it has real potential. So that's around.
Tell me what fracking is. What is fracking?
Well, I'm not sure what fracking is, but it's a way of extracting energy from rock. And all I can think of is the same time, and the town gets rich and then sinks because the infrastructure is ruined. But, I think of towns and miracles and stuff. I think of Anyone Can Whistle, the Sondheim.
I was thinking as I was looking at the plot of this that it sounded a little like Anyone Can Whistle.
Where a town is down on its luck and somebody invents a rock that spurts water and it's a miracle and people come to be saved and cured and all of that. And Anyone Can Whistle was kind of a cult favorite.
Right.
I don't know whether
Well,
False Springs has a future, not because I haven't seen it.
Yes, it's an indie rock musical, and hey, get this! I've got the lyric that explains what fracking is directly from one of the songs. It's a process of drilling by pumping and filling, by pumping and filling fluid through cracks in the shale. High-pressure injections open new sections where oil that's trapped can exhale. That is what happens. So oil is being exhaled from shale, if I'm not mistaken, which probably makes the soil, the things on top of the soil start to sink. And so it's sort of a sink down or whatever. This sounds like a political musical in a way, right?
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that it's being billed as that, and what happens to a small town that starts to sink.
Wow.
And the townspeople's reactions and all of that.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be funny as well.
If people are looking for something new, I would say go check it out. There's some more other things that are in town that we should mention briefly because I'm
Sure.
going to run in a couple of minutes.
Gotcha.
There's a great musical play coming to the Colonial in Pittsfield. It opens on the weekend. It's called George Gershwin Alone. It stars the pianist, author, playwright, and actor Hershey Felder, who has impersonated other great composers, including Irving Berlin and Tchaikovsky, and that's at the Colonial in Pittsfield.
So he tells his story about how he wrote stuff, and I mean, he plays music and
Rhapsody in Blue. I mean, Hershey Felder is so talented, and the show is there through the it's there through the 31st. So it's an opportunity for people to go see it before Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
We talked about the Capitol Steps there in town till August 30th.
Right.
There is a very funny play called Fully Committed, which is the story of an out-of-work actor who works in the reservations department of a swank New York restaurant.
Oh, this has got to be
deal with,
hugely funny.
Temperamental kitchen people and A-list people trying to get reservations, and that's at TheaterWorks through Labor Day weekend.
TheaterWorks is in Hartford.
A wonderful new play called What We May Be, which is world premiering at Berkshire Theater. It's the story of a community theater that's about to close its doors, and the people that are involved in it are a family of actors and all, and they're reminiscing and feeling sad. And it stars Penny Fuller, who was in Applause on Broadway, and Dee
What's
Hogan,
his name?
in Will Rogers Folly.
Yeah, what's the guy's name again? That's
What,
in what we may be.
Oh.
What?
Oh, the pianist is Hershey Felder.
Right, but you said
Gershwin
somebody
Alone.
that was in what show on Broadway? The Will Rogers
Penny
Follies.
Fuller from Applause. She played Eve Harrington in Applause.
Oh my God, Penny
What We
Fuller.
May Be.
Oh yeah, we all know Penny Fuller. Well, yeah, she actually has had a career on. You'd probably see her on Law and Order a lot, and on television. If you'd probably recognize her from that. I think she plays the judge in Law and Order occasionally, or did when I was down there. So she's going to be up there. What's the name of that? What We May Be by Kathleen Clark.
What We May Be. It's at the Berkshire Theater Festival in Stockbridge, and it runs through Labor Day weekend.
Wild. Well, Marco, I'm thrilled to have you back. We are so pleased that you're healthy. We're glad that you're even going 10 minutes away from your house and going back to your house. But that's the beginning, and we can't wait to have you back here. Get back there. You've got a few hours to the pool, so you've got to get that bathing suit on and tell the pool boys down there to have your daiquiri ready.
Well, I think I'll do a little session of physical therapy first to work up the appetite for the drink with the umbrella on it.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, I'm
it's
actually.
Always great to chat with you, Bob.
Same.
Your calls, I miss you. Can't
Same
wait
here.
To be back and doing stuff at some point in the fall.
I love it. I'm going to play as we go out a song from that fracking musical called. Come On Science, and it's from Fall Springs.
And I hope I don't sink into the earth as I walk out the door to go to physical therapy.
Avoid those sinkholes, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right.
Be well, guys.
Ciao. Bye.
See you, Mark.
Come On Science from the musical Fall Springs, which is at Barrington Stage.
Get us out of here. Facts don't fail me now. Am I good enough? You can show me how. If it's hard enough, why won't this make sense? Am I my mom's daughter? Science never failed her. She risked it all to find out more and stop the hell that was in store. Her legacy, it's up to me. That's what I'm fighting for. Jeez, please help me out. I feel so alone. Help me shake this doubt. Can't do this on my own. On my own. Why am I alive? Why do I even try? What's the point of knowing when there's no answer? Why? Problems can be solved with concrete certainty. The world can be explained, but it makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me. Come on,
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donuts shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield. Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Hey, Bob, that's your cue. That's your cue.
Oh, I'm sitting here watching Kenny Stobsky
fixing cameras.
Fixing cameras. The three. See, his show has 3 cameras. Mine has 1 camera. Kenny,
well, he has more than one person. See, if you're one person, then I can do, more than one camera.
Kenny, you have 3 cameras on your show. How is that possible?
Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ken.
They are pre-existing.
They're pre-existing.
Well,
you
he
have
has more than-
pre-existing cameras on
Bob,
your
when you
show.
have only one person, it's easy to get, you just do one shot.
Oh, gotcha. I try to be as beautiful as I can for the camera because folks are now watching us. It's Studio 120. We're right up here at Westfield Technical Academy, and we have 3 cameras here. You can watch us on westfieldtv.org.
The one with the red light is the one you're on, Bob.
Oh, there you are over
Yeah.
there. Oh, God. Okay, got it. Is
Called
that
a
how?
tally light, Bob.
That's old school TV.
Yeah. Well, I remember this. I used to have a.
Now you'll notice now
Yeah.
Pete will go from 3 to 2, and you'll see that I fixed the look a little bit on the camera.
Yeah, but you got to point it over something on focus because this is what I see. Watch, ready?
Okay.
Boom, you're blurry.
Oh, my
They're
word.
ghosties.
I focused it.
You got to put the middle block over something that it can focus on, Kenny.
Oh, do I have to hold up a
No.
sheet
He
of
just needs to
paper?
put you in the middle of the screen. Put Bob in the middle of the screen and hit focus, and then hocus pocus it focuses.
Hocus pocus focus. Wow.
Did it hit
the
focus?
The
There
kids.
you go. Try
Hey,
that, Kenny.
Peter, the kids are coming back. The camera operators will be here in 2 weeks, August 29th. Is that when they come in?
Yes, their first day is Thursday, August 29th, so they'll be here for the Bobby G and Company show.
What is that? Bobby G and
So
Company.
Agawam Paranormal Radio has kind of gone by the wayside.
Yes.
Due to necessity.
Uh-huh.
So he decided to do kind of whatever topics are interesting to him. He's had guests on. We've done a little bit of boxing type stuff, and we've done. They did a ride for veteran services and different things. So he's kind of doing like what everybody else does, but it's a definitely unique spin.
I gotcha. And this is Bobby Goff.
Rob Goff from Agawam Paranormal.
Right.
When he's serious, he's Rob.
Yes.
When he's just having fun, he's Bobby. Bobby Goff and Bobby G and Company. Speaking of which, check this out.
I'm no
Kenny,
longer
put on
the
your
screwball on community radio.
Kenny, put on your headphones.
Yeah.
Tell Kenny to put on his headphones. Check this out. Listen. Ready?
Okay, let's see.
Hey, this is Dean Can. You're listening to my friends Robbie, Lynn, and Pete on the Bobby G and Company show on WSKB 89.5 FM. I'm also listening right alongside.
Hey, that's
he
really
got
great.
Superman.
Really?
Superman, baby.
Yeah.
To do a liner for him.
When is the Bobby G show happening?
Every Thursday morning at 6 a.m.
Every Thursday at 6. What's on
during the school year? He goes till 7:30.
I see.
During the summer, he goes as long as he wants.
How do you like that? So so he can just talk forever.
He did 3 hours last week without blinking an eye.
How do you like that? Alone. He doesn't have a sidekick.
No, he's got Lynn.
He's got a sidekick. Okay.
One of his investigators, but she's got a great personality. It's kind of like Kathy.
Right.
But she's got a great personality, so she does a show with him, and we kind of talk about issues.
I get
Sometimes
it.
he has guests. Sometimes he's had an Army recruiter that's also a boxer on.
Right.
She was a very interesting interview. She's talking about a little bit of both.
Oh, wow.
So he's got all kinds of guests on.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So we got Tina Gorman's show on Wednesdays.
Yes, Wake Up Wednesday has been a fixture since day one.
Yeah, and what do we have on Friday? We have JP's
Talk About Town.
Talk About Town.
And then eventually we'll have the return of Arts Beat Radio.
And Arts Beat Radio. What's on Monday?
Monday, 6 to 8 a.m. is open. If anybody's interested, message us.
What are we advertising for?
Sure, why not?
Holy!
And then Michael Buster McMahon will That'll Learn You.
That'll Learn You. That's his new show.
Yes, with your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill alum.
I get it. Very good. Very
and
good.
he does music and the stories behind him, which is actually kind of a lot of fun.
Hey, you know what I'm thinking? We have on next week's program.
Yes.
My show. We are actually talking travel.
Okay.
And we're doing it with Janine
Queenan.
Janine Queenan. And Janine Queenan and her compatriot.
Lucky you have me here. You know.
Yeah.
that, right?
Thank you. Please. My mind goes blank at every other moment, Kenny.
Huh?
What?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes, well,
huh?
Like most of my listeners, they weren't listening. At any rate, so Janine Queenan's got a woman friend that they have a podcast about middle-aged women, and I wonder if they'd be willing to do a Monday show. That might be something for us to talk about.
I don't know. They'd be great as a monthly, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Because we have slots on the Wednesday monthlies that are open too.
Well, that's great. So if you're interested in having your own radio show, I don't believe we're saying this.
It's a lot harder than you think before you just go and say, I can do that.
Yes. No. You'd have to have a couple of tests. We're not just going to take anybody, are we?
Well,
you took me off the street.
You got to see if it's sustainable because there's a lot of people that have tried it, and it's not sustainable. Like the Agawam Paranormal thing, in and of itself, is not sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah, but you also have to have a certain radio personality, I think.
You have to have a personality, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you just can't be asking questions without some preparation, and it takes a long time to prepare these shows.
Then explain what the hell I'm doing here.
You prepare almost as much as anybody else.
You do.
Can.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as Tina Gorman, but you prepare a lot.
Yeah. Well, the three of us, I actually prepare a lot. I don't use what I prepare, but I do prepare.
Bob.
We prepare. This is extemporanea. Extemporanea. What's the word? What's the Latin word for extemporaneous? Extempore, I guess.
As you notice, I'm leaning back so Bob can't see me.
Gotcha.
Because I'm probably laughing.
I'm looking at the monitor across the room here, and something's just jumping out at me right now.
What is it?
Are those your Whip City fiber sunglasses?
Oh my gosh! I brought them here because I looked so great in these. Look. Whip City Fiber at our concerts. They are the great supporters of Westfield on Weekends events. And so they were at our music fest last week, and they were giving out these incredible sunglasses. And so, look, I'm putting them on. What do you think?
Hey, Pete, cut to 3 so that we can see Bob in those glasses.
What do you think? What do you think here?
I don't know.
No?
It clashes with your shirt.
I don't know.
You need a pink shirt in order to pull off those glasses.
Oh, we got to pull off those glasses. Do you think, are these...
I can't look at you that way.
I really look. Do I look cool?
I can't take you seriously looking at you with those things on.
I gotta play that song. We had to get it. I had to find this song.
Yeah, life is so cool. You gotta wear shades.
Oh yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm simply irresistible.
Because when you're cool like Bob, the sun shineth on you 24 hours a day.
Oh, isn't he wonderful? What, did you take some happy pills this morning or something, my friend?
I think those might be nuclear, and I'm getting radiation poisoning in my brain now. That's what's going on.
Hey, Lisa Stowe, Westfield Gas and Electric, we are thrilled that you had these because... and they say Whip City Fiber on the side, Westfield Gas and Electric, Whip City Fiber, one of our big sponsors. They're doing the Big Rig Rally. That's a hard word. Say Big Rig Rally.
Big Rig Rally.
Isn't that
Big Rig Rally?
It's a hard word for people who don't pronounce R's to say. Big Rig Rally.
I throw R's in everything I do.
Oh, good.
So
I would say Big Wig Wowie.
Big Wig Wowie?
Big Wig Wowie.
Baba Wawa?
Yeah, that's me speaking. But the Big Rig Rally, Westfield's Gas and Electric's Big Rig Rally is going to be through Pumpkin Fest. Kids are going to be able to come in, touch a truck, or meet a service vehicle, and all kinds of great things. That's going to be down in the transit lot. We're also doing a Touch a Truck Boulevard down the street. So if you want to decorate your car and pass out candy, that's another.
Is there going to be anything down there I can touch?
We can put you up in a bucket truck and
something
leave you
that
there.
I want to touch, maybe.
Hey, well, Kenny.
Put you up in a bucket truck and leave you there.
Now that I know that you're not going to be there, you guys, Peter, and you're going away for that weekend, aren't you?
Most likely.
Yes. So you won't be there, and I'm going to miss you. I mean, you're not going to be able to see me as Farmer Brown. I wear the farmer jeans. Maybe this year.
We've seen this one before.
Yeah.
I've got pictures, Bob.
Oh, you have pictures.
Matter of fact, I think
Brown.
I put one up on the new website I'm working on.
Ah, gotcha. Hey, yesterday I booked the llamas. We're going to have llamas at the event this year. The llamas are coming, and kids love llamas.
Llamas?
Yeah. LLA.
Oh, you mean llama?
What did you think that I had the Dalai Lama coming from Tibet, a group of praying monks?
I always thought they were called llama. I can't even say
llamas.
Llamas.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
What is that? What is that?
It's WWE crap because Peter Coles is a 12-year-old.
He's playing WWE stuff from WWE.
He's playing wrestling stuff because he hasn't grown up yet.
Yeah, I have been working with Jason.
You know what?
So
when you grow up,
yeah.
You stop watching wrestling and you start watching something like Big Brother, right?
Oh, very, very, very true.
Yeah.
I think the step from watching wrestling to watching Big Brother is not a very huge step at all. We'll probably then be able to watch the Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, do you think that we're going to go? No, that's not going to be our next.
No, that's not my wheelhouse.
No. But we're coming on. Huh? What the heck is that?
Pete's having fun in the control room.
Hey, I've been working with Jason Poland on Pumpkin Fest. He does worldwide music. What is it? Worldwide. I got WWE. What is it? Is that the same thing? WWE. Worldwide. What does the E stand for?
It used to be WWF. And
Worldwide Entertainment.
Worldwide Entertainment.
Oh, so WWE.
Because it's no longer wrestling. It's
I can't believe they got sued by World Wildlife Fund, which was after them. Anyways.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I'll have to ask Jason about that.
No, they did. They got sued and lost.
Oh, they did. So now
for WWF.
Oh, World Wildlife Federation and the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. There's a great difference between pandas.
I understand that, but they were there.
Hulk Hogan.
WWF was there first, and they still lost.
I see. I gotcha.
But anyways, that's cool.
Yeah. Hey, Kenny, are you going to be down there at the? I keep calling it Taste of Westfield. There was
Food
never
Fest.
a taste.
And it was never even the Taste of Westfield, Bob.
Yeah, what was it?
Jesus Christ.
What is it called?
It was a Taste of the World.
Taste of the World. Okay, got it.
Man.
Yeah. One of my biggest flops in history, I was working for the mayor of Springfield, and I came up with this travel expo, and I called it Ticket to the World. Boy, was that a flop.
Yeah.
It was a real flop. It was almost as much of a flop. I produced a book festival that the only people who came were the mothers of the book, the authors. Honest to God, it was awful.
Hey, Bob, it's 8 o'clock at WSKB West.
What are you talking about? You're really so. Hey, I've got to play one more song. Hey, what am we going to play? I'll tell you what we're going to play. Let's play that Taste of Honey Boogie Oogie. This was great because this is I was reminded of this song watching Pose a couple of weeks ago.
You know, that whole soundtrack is my wheelhouse. That is what I was DJing with in the late 80s and early 90s, all the music on that show.
So you know Boogie Oogie Oogie.
I know all of the music on that show.
That's what we listened to all the way down to Virginia last time we went.
Yeah, which was kind of one of the draws to me to that show is because of the soundtrack.
So you've Boogie Oogie Oogied to the best of them.
No, I never did the actual Boogie Oogie Oogieing. I just spun it on a turntable.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So, hey, I want you to get out and volunteer. If you're interested in Pumpkin Fest, go to westfieldonweekends.com, or we're on Facebook, and I think there's even an Instagram account, and you'll start to read all about Pumpkin Fest. And but we also have a concert coming up on September 12th. That's the Allman Brothers Tribute Band concert. And then we are also going, there is an artist reception coming up September 6th. And wait till you see the new graphics that are happening at Westfield on weekends. We've got a new logo. After all those years of people wondering, what the heck is that logo? Okay, you can see it. Well, this is over my shoulder. You can kind of see an old version, but we've got a new version of the WOW logo coming up, and wait till you see it, and wait till you hear all the great things that are happening this year from Westfield on weekends. So everybody, hey, have a good weekend. Get down there to the Food Fest, the Artworks Downtown Live concert. Art Walk is this weekend. We've got Stanley Park going this weekend as well. The concert tonight, there's a concert I think at Amelia Park, and tomorrow night karaoke. So it's a big week in Westfield. Get out there and volunteer. We love you. Talk to you soon. See ya. Boogie Oogie down